Hey everyone, it's Robin, R Silent Crafts, and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to make another mug rug. I wanted to make a Scrappy Rainbow Mug Rug. I thought it would be fun to put some scraps down the center, have some clouds on the side, and a little bit of sky on the back. Now, a mug rug is a large coaster or a small placemat. Some people like to put their cup of tea or coffee on one side and maybe put a biscuit or some cookies on the other side. I know I like to hang them in my studio as just a mini quilt on the wall. So let's go ahead and dive into our scrap bins and make a little rainbow magic. I'll go ahead and put all the measurements down below in the description box for you, but I wanted to show you one of the things I do when working on projects like this. Since I already have my rainbow narrow scrappy fabric bins out, I went ahead and I cut enough of each color to make 6 mug rugs. That way, the fabrics are out, I cut everything I need, I put them back on the shelf. Whether I make them today or I set them aside and make them later in the week, I know I have everything out and prepped and ready to go. Everything's out at once, everything's cleaned up at once. Chain piece everything, and before I know it, I can have 6 done in an afternoon just as easily as I can have 1 done. Here's the practice piece I made just to make sure my measurements were correct, to sew everything down and to see how it looked. I'll set these aside for now and I'll work on them after I make your tutorial. As usual for me, I have everything to make the front of my mug rug, and then I'll choose the backing fabric once I have it finished. I'm starting with a piece of batting that's larger than I need. My goal is to have the top of my mug rug be 9.5 by 6.5. Of course, you can make adjustments and change these numbers up. I like to cut everything a little bit larger as needed. So for my batting, I did cut it at 10 by 7. Down in the description box will be the exact measurements, and then you can just add in a little wiggle room as I describe it throughout this tutorial. For my centerpiece, I wanted my rainbow about down the center, so I went ahead with 4.5-inch wide measurements, and I know that if I want it to be 6.5 inches, that each of my strips for a 6-color rainbow need to be 1.5 inches. I'm using rainbow colors. You can use any color you want. It's your mug rug. You can use anything you'd like. I cut my strips at 1.5 by 4.5. If you struggle getting everybody to line up nice and straight, make them a little bit longer than 4.5. Maybe 4 3/4 or 5 inches wide. So that way you can use leftover charm squares. After we sew it together, then we'll go ahead and trim it. Now for my white cloud pieces on the side, remember we are making it 6.5 inches tall, so mine are a little bit longer than 6.5 inches just because I'm working with scraps and they were already longer. You can go ahead and cut yours 7 inches long. The width that I need them to be is 2.5. But again, if you cut them a little bit longer, it'll just come past your batting and we'll trim it off. So if you happen to have a scrap of fabric that's 2 3/4 by 6 3/4, don't worry about trimming it. Just make sure one edge is nice and straight. Our batting is 10 by 7 because I like to cut it a little larger so that when I quilt it, in case anything gets a little wonky or shrinks, then I can trim it down to my 9.5 by 6.5. Just check down below in the description box and you'll find all of your measurements. Now, since my batting is 10 by 7, I am going to find the halfway point. I have just a Hera marker and I have a friction pen. You can use the friction pen to mark the center, but I can see it on my batting by just pressing the Hera marker. And then off of that center mark, I'm just going to mark 2 1/4. And the space in between should measure 4.5 inches. It just makes it easy to line it up this way. If you find a way that works better for you, then of course, do that way. Lay out your center strips and we're going to take it to the sewing machine, and it works out really well because we're going to sew it in groups of 2. Press each of those seams and then we'll sew them together. And that just helps to keep all of our seams nice and lined up so they don't wobble too much. 1/4 inch seam allowance, 2.0 stitch length. Now this is where if you're making multiple at the same time, you can stack all of your reds and all of your orange or whatever colors you're using, and then you can just sew them in groups of 2 until you have all of your strips sewn. If you have directional fabric, make sure you're laying all your pieces out so that they're not going to be upside down or out of order. When working with skinnier strips like this, I do like to sew them in groups of 2 and press them as I go. And I think I'm going to press them all towards the top, the red. And it works really well if you just gently push it over. If you just take your iron and go like this, it tends to push the fabric, and that's how you get that bow at the top. So if you press it just a little bit and then set the seam down, instead of what I normally do is I like to press like this, but for the narrower strips, I want to be a little bit more careful. So then set my seam just by putting my iron down. Those stitches will lay flat. Then push it open. You can press these open if you'd like. Make sure you have everyone laid out in the right order, and I'll take it to the sewing machine, and I will go ahead and sew both of these seams, and then I'll press those. There's my finished rainbow piece. These are the last 2 seams that I stitched. And then I'll just make sure, gently guide everybody. And once they're all laying flat, I can give it a nice press. Having your strips cut a little bit wider than 4.5 inches works really well if you struggle with lining up your ends. Now, I do struggle with that, but for this project, there's only the 6 strips, and it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. It's just one of those things that is close enough is going to be okay. At this point, you can line up your seams with one of the lines on your ruler and just make sure everyone is going to be about even. If yours isn't a perfect 4.5 by 6.5, it's going to be okay. I give you permission to have it just a little bit wonky. When I put this in here, remember our batting is a little larger, so I'll just go ahead and find a nice even spot in between my marks. The lines keeps me from being a little crazy. Now, you can be crazy, but if you want everything to line up nice, those lines will help you keep your piece in between. Now, my tester piece, I did use some white thread, and I just stitched down on the top side of all of the seams. So we're going to take this to the sewing machine as is. Again, you can put pins in it if you like, and I'm just going to put those lines of quilting. And that's going to hold this centerpiece in place. If you don't want those lines there, then just don't put the lines there. Remember, this is your project, and you get to do it however it works for you. I'm doing a slight 1/4 inch, a little bit less, and since all of my fabric's pressed that way, that means the red is on top of the orange. I want a top stitch on top of that seam. Straight lines, quilting, some ups and downs. Wait till the whole thing is finished, and you can do diagonal quilting, whichever works for you. I'm starting off the fabric, the colors, and I'm finishing off the rainbow colors. I'm not worrying about back stitching because my white fabric is going to go on top. It's going to be sewn down and quilted. Now, of course, if you're making a bunch of these and you want to change your thread for every color, you're more than free to do that. I did think about it, but I thought the white was okay because I will be putting the white fabric on it and stitching the white fabric down. Clouds and rainbows work together, so that's what I gave myself permission to do. Changing the colors for just one mug rug might be a little bit much for me, but if I were making 20 of those and I wanted red on red and orange on orange, I don't see a problem doing that. I'm going to trim off all of these threads from start and end on my little top stitching. I'm not going to worry about what's on the back. I can always trim those after. Now that I have that center section all done, I'm going to add my white edges to it, my little cloud sections. With right sides together, I want to line up my white with my rainbow. I want to be careful. If I leave the color sticking out and I fold this over, you're going to be able to see those rainbow colors through that white fabric. I want to line it up right on the edge, and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to stitch right through the batting and my rainbow strip. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side, And this is why I said having one straight side is important, and then the other side, it can be a little jagged as long as it's past that 2.5 inch mark. I'm using 100% cotton batting, so it's safe for me to put my iron directly onto the batting. There's no scrim in it at all. If you're using a polyester batting, you might need to put a presser cloth down, or just be careful that your iron doesn't touch the batting. Fold the white sides over. Now back to the sewing machine, I'm going to go ahead and top stitch down on the white cloud sections. Same as I did on the rainbow fabrics, just a little bit smaller than 1/4 inch. I'm just going to top stitch down on the clouds, and that'll be enough quilting for a mug rug. Now my goal is 9.5 by 6.5. If I don't get that number, it's going to be okay. Chances are it's because I didn't cut my white fabric wider and maybe things shifted a little. So mine is going to be 9.25 by 6.5, and that's going to be okay. I think for a mug rug that this is enough quilting. We have a lot here and then the sides to hold down the white. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my backing fabric, and then we'll just put it together like we have been with our mug rugs with no binding on it. Right sides together. I cut the backing fabric a little bit larger. Add some pins to hold it in place. I'm going to use 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to stitch all the way around and leave an opening on one of the white ends, because that way I don't have to worry about any seams or anything, and I'll be able to turn it right side out through that opening. My mug rug isn't very thick, so I don't need to leave a huge opening. I'll just leave it 2-3 inches open and back stitch. When I come back around, I'll just leave that opening and back stitch to finish it off. I do like to give it a little bit of a press before or after you trim it. I use my batting as the edge to guide when I was doing my 1/4 inch seam. If you want to do a little bit more than 1/4 inch, you can do that. And then when I trim around it, I'll just trim the excess, and I'll stay on the other side of the batting or about 1/4 inch from the seam. Trim our corners to reduce the bulk, and we just want to stay a couple of threads away from the stitching line. Let me show you on this side. You don't want to cut through that stitching line. You want to just leave a little extra. Turn it right side out between the 2 layers. Reach down and grab a corner. Gently pull it out, but you can be a little bit forceful as needed. This is where we back stitch so we don't pop those seams. I like to pop the corners out with my finger and thumb just to get them started. I have a corner poker outer from Flamingo Toes that I don't know if the official name for it, but maybe it's called a point turner. It just helps me to push those corners out. You just don't want to push so hard that you pop through the fabric. If you do, turn it wrong side out, take it back to the sewing machine, and just sew on the inside so that it's a little bit smaller, and then that hole will end up being in the seam allowance. Once you have everyone worked out to the way you like it, we'll take it and give it a nice press. And when we're pressing it, tuck in that 1/4 inch. We want to press all the seam allowances in, and we want to have this nice and flat. You can lay it up against your cutting mat to get a nice straight line. Take it over to the sewing machine, and we're going to top stitch all the way around, less than 1/4 inch. While we do that, this will close up our opening here. If you don't like to top stitch around, you can always use a whip stitch or ladder stitch and close this opening. I like to just do it by stitching it around. Now I'm going to use a straight stitch. If you want, you can use a fancy stitch from your sewing machine. I like to start just before the opening. I'll hold my top thread, put my needle down, and while holding tension on that top thread, I'll bring the bobbin up to the top, and that's going to help to keep the back of my project nice and neat, and I won't get that bird's nest of thread. Make sure everyone stays lined up. Now that I'm past that section, now I don't have to worry as much. I can cut my starting thread, and then I can just finish stitching around. When I come back around, I'll go past the beginning a little bit, back stitch, and cut my thread. There is my finished mug rug. Now that I have one finished, I can go through and sew the rest of them up. Once these are all finished, I'll be popping them in the shop if anyone's interested. The link to my Etsy shop is down below in the description box. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this scrappy rainbow in the clouds, in the sky mug rug. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more scrappy videos like this, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel and hang out with us. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and hype the video. It really does help push the channel out to other people. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.